Today in this video, we're going to take a look at Velcro cable ties, how to use them, why to use them, and most importantly, in the end, we're going to answer a question I've had for a long time. Do the cheaper Velcro ties stack up against the more expensive name brands? I did a little comparison. One brand didn't survive this stress test quite as well as the other. If you want to see what happened, stay tuned till the end. For now, let's get going. So there's lots of ways to tie up a cable. You don't have to use Velcro. For heavier cables in the film and television industry, we use sash cord. If you want to see how I coil cables, both the over-over and the over-under technique, please check out my video here. But for smaller cables that carry data or video or audio, it's fairly common on a film set to see a Velcro tie attached to one of those. And I would recommend that for home use too. You could put it around the cable on your hairdryer, any video game controller, whatever you got. They're super easy to put on. They sort of grab onto themselves because they're hard Velcro on one side and soft Velcro on the other. What I do is I just slide the fat end under the cable and take the pointed end from the other side, feed it through the hole, pull it tight, and it generally and usually holds onto the cable pretty well. You sort of want to have it about 2 inches from the end of the cable. And most brands you'll find once you attach them like this, they generally stay. They slide a little bit, but for the most part, they stay. Then after you coil the cable and you want to wrap it up tight, you just wrap the Velcro tie around itself. And since one side is hard, the other side is soft, it grabs itself and it holds the cable. It's kind of brilliant. They come in different colors, so you can color code your cables. You can do that for cable length, you can do that for cable type, you can do that for whatever you want. And the great thing about it is it holds the coil of your cable in place without damaging the cable in any significant way. But something I've always wondered, because I go through a lot of these, should I just be giving up and buying the cheaper ones, or should I stick with the name brand? There's all kinds of different companies that make hook and loop fasteners like this. You don't have to go with the name brand Velcro. You can go with any brand you want. And there's some really cheap ones out there. So I went out to the big box store, I bought some Velcro ones, and I also bought some cheap ones on Amazon. Today I'm going to do a comparison. The Velcro ones cost me $5 Canadian for 5. That's $1 each for those of you keeping track at home. And the cheaper ones from Amazon were about 12 bucks, and you get 50. That works out to be about 24 cents each. 4 times the price difference. Is it worth it? Let's find out. I grabbed a scrap piece of Schedule 40 aluminum pipe. I attached a couple of Velcro straps together to go around the pipe. They weren't long enough, just one. This is how you make them longer. And then I started pulling 500 times. That took a little while. Basically, hook and loop tape. The hook grabs onto some loops in the soft side, and that's how it holds. When you pull it free, sometimes the loop will break, right? It's just gonna slowly over time fray a little more and a little more until at some point, it won't work at all. And it was sometime around the 300th pull that I decided the cheaper brand was no longer working very well. It just wasn't holding one bit, whereas the name brand side was still going strong. Around 400, I would say the cheaper brand was virtually useless. I kept going to 500 just to see what would happen. And as you can see here, after 500 pulls, the cheaper hook and loop tie doesn't really hold at all anymore. The name brand Velcro tie still holds. So for my purposes on set for professional use, I'm gonna stick with the name brand stuff. I don't care about spending a little more. I need these ties to hold. I need them to hold in the rain. I need them to hold in the hot, hot summers. I need them to hold even if they get dirty. I just don't think the cheap ones are going to work for work. But if you don't think you're going to be pulling on your Velcro tie more than 300 times, maybe it's worth it to save the money. 4 times is a fair bit of difference. So there you go. I hope that helped you out. If it did, please feel free to like or subscribe. Liking and subscribing can really help a channel, and if you could do that for this channel, I'd really appreciate it. And as always, take care, stay safe, have fun with your DIY projects, go organize that unruly cable drawer, and I'll see you next Saturday.